Hello there and welcome to today's class. In today's class, we'll be solving over 10 most repeated Post-UTME questions on mathematics. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for more tutorial videos. The first question we have on the board says, the sum of 140,000 naira is shared between Abu, Kayode and Uche. Abu has twice as much as Kayode and Kayode has twice as much as Uche. What is Kayode's share? The sum of 140,000 is shared between Abu, Kayode and Uche. Abu has twice as much as Kayode and Kayode has twice as much as Uche. What is Kayode's share? Option A, we have 80,000 naira. Option B, we have 10,000 naira. Option C, we have 40,000 naira. And option D, we have 20,000 naira. When you're faced with this kind of questions, you don't need to panic. The first thing you need to do is solution. It says the sum of how much? 140,000. So you have total sum. Total sum is 140,000. It's shared between three persons, Abu, Kayode and Uche. Abu has twice as much as Kayode and Kayode has twice as much as Uche. Let's start with Uche. So let Uche have X share. From the question here, they say Kayode has twice as much as Uche. So Kayode here is twice as much as Uche. Uche here is X. So Kayode is 2X. This other part of the question say Abu has twice as much as Kayode. So Abu here is 2 times what? Kayode. That's what the question says. And don't forget, Kayode here is what? 2x. So this is the same thing as 2 into 2x. Since Kayode is 2x. 2 times 2x will give us what? 4x. Therefore, Abu is what? 4x. The next step is to take the total number of shares. Total shares is equal to x, that is for Uche, plus 2x for Kayode, plus 4s for Abu, which will give us what? X plus 2x will give us 3x. 3x plus 4s gives us what? 7x. Therefore, the number of shares is equal to the total sum, which is 140,000. To find the value of x, we need to divide through by the coefficient of x here, which is what? 7. If we divide through by 7, we have this divided by 7 and this also divides by 7. This will take away this, right? We're left with what? X. 140,000 divided by 7 will give us 20,000. So we have here to do what? 20,000. Don't forget, from the question they said what? Uche is what? X. So the total shares for Uche is what? X. And X we have here is what? 20,000. So for Kayode, therefore, Uche is equal to X. And X is equal to 20,000. The next we have here is Kayode. Kayode here is equal to what? 2x, which is 2x, which is equal to 20,000 times 2. And 20,000 times 2 will give us what? 40,000. The last here is what? Abu. Abu is what? 4x. So we have Abu to be equal to 4x, which is 4 times our x here is what? 20,000. 4 times 20,000 will give us 80,000. naira. Don't forget the question says what is Kayode's share. If you come here, we have Uche to be 20,000, Kayode to be 40,000, and Abu to be 80,000. Therefore, the total share for Kayode is what? 40,000. If you come to our options here, the correct option is option C, 40,000. Question 2 says, I am X years and my brother is 3 years older. How old was my brother last year? I'll repeat the question again. It says, I am X years and my brother is 3 years older. How old was my brother last year? Option A, we have X minus 4 years. Option B, we have X plus 2 years. Option C, we have 3X minus 1 years. And option D, we have X plus 1 years. Now, when you're faced with this kind of question, what do? The question says, I am X years. So it says solution, let my age be X. Be X. It says, and my brother is 3 years older. So my brother's age is X plus 3. Don't forget, my brother is what? 3 years older than myself. So you say X my age plus 3. How old was my brother last year? The age of my brother last year, my brother's age is what? X plus 3 minus 1. Minus 1 because we are talking about last year, 1 year ago. So we have minus 1. If we simplify this, we have X plus 3 minus 1 will give us what? Plus 2. Therefore, my brother's age last year is what? X plus 2 years. Let's come here. The correct option here is option B, X plus 2 years. Question 3 says, divide the sum of 87, 82, 76, 40, 42, 73, and 27 by their mean. Divide the sum of 87, 82, 76, 42, 40, 73, and 28 by their mean. Option A, we have 7. Option B, we have 9. C, we have 8. And D, we have 6. Now let's solve this question together. The first thing you need to do here is to know the meaning of this word, mean. Mean simply means the average value. It means the sum of the total number of terms divided by the total number of terms or values or variables. Now, solution, let's sum these values up together and get the sum total of the terms given in this question. If we do that, we have 87 plus 82 plus 76 plus 40 plus 42 plus 73 plus 28. This is the sum total of the term here. It will give us 428. If you put correctly, you have 428. Yes, that's the sum of these values. Now it says divide it by their what? By their mean. Mean, it's equal to the sum of the total values, which is 428, divided by the total number of terms or the total value, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 values here. So you say the sum of these values divided by the number of values, which is 7. If you purge this, it's going to give you what? 61.14. Now note, the question says what? Divide the sum by their mean. Now this is the sum, right? And this is the what? Mean. So if we do that, what we are required in this question, let's say required, is to divide the sum of values divided by what? The mean. If we do that, we have sum of values to be what? 428 divided by the mean, which is 61.14. 428 divided by 61.14 will give us what? 7 point something. 0, 0. Let's say 7.0. So this is the final answer. Let's come to our options here. The correct option here is option A, 7. Question 4 we have here is a very technical but simple question. It says, the chord of length 6 cm is drawn in a circle of radius 5 cm. Find the distance of the chord from the center of the circle. A chord of length 6 cm is drawn in a circle of radius 5 cm. Find the distance of the chord from the center of the circle. Option A, we have 2.5 cm. Option B, we have 3.0 cm. Option C, we have 3.5 cm. And option D, we have 4.0 cm. So let's solve this question together. From the question, they say the chord of length 6 cm. So you have length of chord to be what? 6 cm, which is this. They gave us what? Radius, right? It's drawn in a radius of 5 cm. So they give us radius arrow to be 5 cm. They say find the distance of the chord from the center of the circle. So distance of the chord from the center of the circle is unknown. They say we should find it. Now let's understand what a chord is. What is a chord? A chord is any line that connects 2 points in the circumference. A chord is any line that connects 2 points of a circumference. For example, this is a circle. I said a chord is a line that connects 2 points in the circumference of the what? A circle. So this is a circle and this is the what? The circumference, right? A chord is any line at all that connects 2 points in a circle, in the circumference of the circle. So let's say this is point A and this is what? Point B. The longest line that divides or that passes through the center of the circle is also a chord, but that's called the what? Diameter. So a diameter is also a chord, but it is the longest what? Chord. So let's say this is the center of the circle. This line drawn here what? Is the diameter, right? Why this is the what? Chord. So this we have here is the chord. From the question it says a chord of length 6 cm. So let's assume from here to here, this is the chord you are working with, not the diameter. This is what? 6 cm. Is drawn in a circle of radius 5 cm. Now what is radius? Radius is a line drawn from the center of the circle to any part of that circle. So let's say this is the center of the circle. Let's draw this line from here to this point. This is the radius. It is what? 5 cm. So we have 5 cm here. Is it find the distance of the chord from the center of the circle. Now this is the chord, right? And this is the center of the circle. So let's say this distance, they say we should find it. This is D. Now if this is 6 cm, it means half of this from here to here should be 3 cm, and from here to here should also be what? 3 cm. When you add them together, you have 6 cm. this is a triangle, right? If we pick this out, if we pick this portion of the triangle out, we have it to be this way, which we have here to be 3 cm, here to be the radius 5 cm, and this point to be what? D. Don't forget, half the chord is what? 3 cm, which is half of this chord. We have it to be what? 3 cm, which is this point here. Now, let's apply Pythagoras theory here. Applying Pythagoras theory, we have that r square is equal to d square plus half the chord square. From Pythagoras, we have the square of the hypotenuse, which is r square, is equal to the sum of the square of these other sides, which is d square plus what? Half the chord square. Don't forget, half the chord here was 3 cm. We have r square to be d square plus what? Half the chord is 3 cm all squared. If we substitute these values into this equation, we have that instead of writing r square, we know the value of r to be what? 5. So we have 5 square is equal to, this is 3 square. D square plus 3 square. 5 square is 5 multiplying itself how many times? Twice. So you have 5 times 5. It's going to give us 25 is equal to d square. You have d square plus 9, 3 squared. 3 squared will give us 9 because it's 3 multiplying itself 2 times. And you have 3 times 3 to give us 9. If we make this square the subject of formula here, positive 9 will cross the equality sign to this other side of the equation. It will change from positive to what? Negative. So we have d square is equal to 25 minus 9. This has left this side to this other side of the equation. This square is now left alone. It's not standing alone. We have that 25 minus 9 will give us what? 16. We have d square is equal to 16. We are looking for d. They said the what? The distance from the center of the chord, which was this distance. This distance d, 3 cm, 5 cm. So they say we should find d and not d square. So what do? We take the square root of both sides. Some persons will say we multiply both sides by, or we raise both sides to the power of half. If we do that, we have d is equal to the square root of what? 16. Square root of 16 will give us what? 4. The unit remains what? Centimeter. Therefore, this distance from here to here, d is equal to what? 4.0 cm. Let's come to our options and pick the correct option. From the options here, the correct option is option D, 4.0. Question 5 says, a sector of a circle with radius 12 cm with an angle of 60 degrees is folded to form a cone. Find the radius of the base of the cone. A sector of a circle, radius 12 cm with an angle of 60 degrees is folded to form a cone. Find the radius of the base of the cone. Option A, we have 5 cm. B, we have 2 cm. C, we have 3 root 6 cm. And D, we have 2 root 3 cm. So let's solve this question together. From the question, we were given what? The radius. So we have radius R root to be equal to what? 12 cm. It says with an angle, so we have angle, which is theta, to be what? 60 degrees. They say it is folded to form a cone. Find the radius of the base of the cone. So let's say radius of the base which is capital R, is unknown. Recall the formula for length of an arc. Length of an arc is given by the formula theta over 360 times 2 pi r. That is the formula for the length of an arc. If we substitute these values into this equation, we have that theta here, which is the angle, is 60 divided by 360 degrees times 2 pi. Our r here is what? 12 cm. Now, 60 divided by 60, you have 1, right? 360 divided by 60, you have 6. So here we have what? 1 over 6 times 2. 2 times 12 will give us what? 24. So we have 24 pi here. This is 2 pi times 12 will give us 24 pi. If we simplify further, we have 1 times 24 will give us 24 over 6 pi. 24 pi divided by 6 will give us what? This will give us 4 pi. So we have 4 pi here. Therefore, the length of an arc of this circle is what? The length of arc is equal to what? 4 pi. We are not done with the solving. But also recall that the base circumference is equal to the arc length. Base circumference, recall that the base circumference is equal to the arc length, which is the length of arc we are talking about. So here we have the formula for base circumference is 2 pi capital R is equal to, our arc length here is what? 4 pi. 4 pi. Here, R here is the what? Is the radius of the base of the cone. R here is the radius of the base of the cone, which they said we should find from the question. So here we have, if we make R the solve of the formula, we divide both sides by the coefficient or the values attached to R, which is 2 pi R is equal to 4 pi. When we divide both sides by the coefficient of R here, which is 2 pi, we divide here by what? 2 pi. This will take away this, right? Yes, so we have R is equal to, pi will take away pi, it will go out. We have 4 divided by 2, we have 2. Don't forget, R here is the radius of the base of the cone. So we have 2 cm. Let's come to our options here. The correct option here is what? Option B, 2 cm. That is the radius of the base of the cone.